A new complaint by the National Labor Relations Board could have a chilling effect on business hiring plans.
The NLRB saying Boeing violated federal law when it decided to build a plant in South Carolina. Why? Well, they say that because it was retaliating against union workers in Washington state for striking. Boeing denies the charge and is fighting back.
Our next guest says it's about time the NLRB started standing up for American workers again.
With us now, Sandy Pope. She is president of Teamsters Local 805. Sandy is also running for president of the National Teamsters, up against Jimmy Hoffa Jr. Wow. All right. So we're happy to have you here for this discussion about the NLRB. Look, Boeing would say, wait a minute, we're running a business. We're allowed to open a plant anywhere in any state, are we not?
They are. They should follow the law, though, like any other business should.
How did they not follow the law?
They clearly retaliated. In their own words, they said that we're moving because of the strike that went on, that we don't want to have every 3 years have a strike. That it's their own, and that was the major reason that they're moving.
But shouldn't they have the freedom to do that? If they figure that they can't make as much money for their stockholders by operating in Washington, shouldn't they have the freedom to move to South Carolina?
Well, there is a law that says you're not supposed to retaliate for union activity.
Wait a minute. Retaliate is a loaded term, is it not? Isn't that open to interpretation? And
yes.
Isn't that what the courts will now decide?
The NLRB investigated for a year and found that, yes, it was retaliation and not just a regular business move.
Well, we would imagine that the NLRB, who's supportive of union workers, would probably find that, but Boeing would say, wait a minute, we have a case against them because we actually continue to hire in the union state of Washington, not just moving a plant to South Carolina. So if they had cut back on workers in the union state, then you might be able to say, yeah, they were really retaliating, but they've continued to hire in that state.
No, this has put a chilling effect on workers being willing to exercise their legal right to strike or even to join unions. And we've been fighting that issue along, that many companies retaliate against individual workers or groups of workers just for trying to join a union. Now they're telling workers, you strike and we'll not only replace you, we'll move your work as well. And somebody's got to stop this from happening. We cannot have corporations running the country. They're doing anything they want right now.
But you can't have the government running businesses. And, as the discussion of wages and benefits becomes moot if you don't have a job at all. We have an unemployment crisis in America. Despite the fact the economy is recovering in the stock market, Main Street is not recovering at all. So isn't there a chilling effect? You mentioned chilling effect. Isn't there also a chilling effect on small businesses who want to hire but are afraid that the NLRB is not a mediator but working on behalf of the unions?
No, small businesses generally don't have unions, and they're impacted much more by these sorts of moves.
Small or big, whoever is hiring.
Large. When you drive wages down to $7, $8, $9 an hour with no benefits, you're not doing much help to the economy.
Is that how much they're making in South Carolina right now with the Boeing plant?
I don't know what they're making.
They're making a lot more than that.
I know that in New Jersey, the largest distributor of food in the country just shut down their warehouses. 1,300 workers lost their jobs and they were told that if they want them to stay, they not only have to go down to $7 an hour with poor health benefits.
You're mixing here because Boeing down in South Carolina are offering jobs with pretty good benefits. It's not like $7 an hour.
But most companies are driving the wages down. That does not help. How does giving Washington State more unemployment and
But isn't it better to have some wage than no job?
Do you feel that
that's not what this country's about? This country is about making
But right
sure
now it's about hiring people, and even the president says job number one is creating jobs.
It's about having people who can actually buy the products that are being made.
Well, the president disagrees with you. The president would say jobs is number one.
Do you feel that businesses should be able to start businesses in any state that they want? Because people would look at this and say, you know what? Wow, Boeing's in big trouble. They are having strikes. Who wants a strike? Nobody wants to see a strike every 3 years either way. And workers do deserve to be respected and certainly paid well. But companies are going to look at this and say, I'm not going to open business in any union state because look at the problems that I have.
99% of contract negotiations are settled without a strike. 99%. To me, the fact that there was a strike at Boeing means that Boeing management did a poor job of getting ready for negotiations. Most negotiations can be solved with cooperation, with discussion, with advanced planning, all sorts of things. So something got screwed up there. because most companies do a fine job.
I got to ask you, totally unrelated to Boeing, Jimmy Hoffa. he is a tough guy. I mean, he's got a reputation as a tough cookie. Certainly his dad did. What are your plans for going against a guy with a reputation like that?
Grassroots campaign. The members of the Teamsters are fed up and they want change.
Fed up with what?
They're fed up with weak unionism and with paying more attention to politicians in Congress than to the workers and to their issues in their own.
Corruption? Are there corruption issues as well, or not?
I wouldn't say that that's a primary
Okay.
Do you think
issue.
you think you can beat Jimmy Hoffa?
Yes, I do.
We'll watch, Sandy. We'll have you back.
Come
Thank you
back and
very
see us
much.
again, all right?
Thank you.